Hello and welcome to Vault Holocron. I'm Jonathan and today we will be discussing the Chiss. The Chiss haven't appeared much in Star Wars on the TV, but there is quite a lot on them in canon. The most famous Chiss is Thrawn, who was in Star Wars Rebels, and there are a lot of Chiss in canon. In fact, there are so many that it may be a future video. Anyway, let's dive into the Chiss. The Chiss were sentient humanoid beings with blue skin, dark blue hair, and red eyes. Their eyes were actually better than human, being able to see into the infrared colour spectrum, and they also had sharper hearing. The Chiss were often mistaken for Pantorans, another humanoid species with blue skin which could have blue hair. One of the people to confuse the two was Driller Mardak, who thought Thrawn was a Pantoran with some sort of eye condition. The Chiss could also have the Force, which they called sight, but it was extremely rare and also limited. It occurred almost always in females and could give a Chiss second and third sight, which are telepathy and precognition respectively. This would however fade away and eventually disappear as the Chiss grows up. Chiss girls with sight were identified and made navigators for the Chiss fleet for navigating the treacherous unknown regions. Using them, a journey could take only a few days, where using a jump-by-jump system takes weeks. The Chiss called them Ozili Esahembo, which translates to Sky Walker. Many of them were adopted into ruling families after their ability faded. Thrawn's sister even became a Skywalker, according to Thrawn, being taken away at the young age of 5, and he never saw her again. The Chiss came from the unknown regions planet of Scylla, and had little contact with the outside world, meaning they were regarded as a legend within the galaxy and within the unknown regions. They were ruled by the Chiss Ascendancy, an ancient governmental body led by the 9 ruling families. The system had a hierarchy, and each group had more power than the group below it. As I said before, the 9 ruling families led the Ascendancy, but just underneath them were the Great Families, which were a less influential group of ruling families. The Ascendancy had existed for centuries, even dating back as far as the Sith Wars between the Sith Empire and the Galactic Republic. They never really involved themselves with matters outside of their borders and weren't overly bothered with expansion. They were only really concerned with exploration and research, and still didn't really interact with other powers. The Order was also quite secretive, hiding knowledge about sight and the abilities the Skywalkers had. Even Thrawn didn't know what the abilities of Second Sight were. The Chiss did later become more involved with the universe after a mysterious threat was discovered in the unknown regions, which led to them allying with the Empire due to suitability and how they were easy prey for the threat to attack instead of them. This mysterious threat was the Grisks, who were ruthless warriors and a possible topic for a later video. The most famous Chiss is Thrawn, but did you know that isn't actually his true name? Thrawn is actually called Mitth'raw'nurruodo. Each Chiss had a name like this, where the first part would be the Chiss family, the second part would be their given name, and the third part would indicate other social factors. The Chiss used shortened versions which they called core names, due to their convenience, and rarely used their full names. Their full names were only really used in the most formal of situations, and weren't really used around outsiders who wouldn't understand the full names, and are also not formal enough. The Chiss didn't interact much with outsiders, but in the rare case where Eli Vanto was among the Chiss, they converted his name into a 3-part name, which they shortened into the core name Evant. So earlier I mentioned how the Chiss came from the planet Scylla. Well, now I'm going to go a bit deeper into the planet. Scylla was an ice-locked planet in the Scylla system, and its capital was Saplar. The planet hadn't always been ice-locked, but 1,000 years before the Clone Wars, its stars started to dim, which caused the ice to form over the planet. Due to this, most of the planet's residents moved away to planets like Rentor, Avicii, and Slavji. Not all of the Chiss left though, and those that remained dug under the ground. Chiss space was mostly unknown to the other regions of the galaxy, and not many people knew about Scylla, but there were a few that had been to or at least heard of the ice-locked planet. The Empire knew, having Thrawn in their ranks, and Honda Anaka showed the planet in a map in his book, Galactic Explorer's Guide. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you later at Vault Holocron.